As a leader, your time is probably the most valuable thing you have. So when you're looking at that long, long list of B2B events, how do you even begin to decide which one's actually worth it? We're going to dig into what makes an event truly, truly impactful. And spoiler alert, it's not about the flashy keynotes. It's all about the power of peer-to-peer exchange. This quote right here, it gets to the very heart of the matter. It just perfectly captures that feeling that so many of us have had. Theory is great, but hearing a practical, real-world solution from someone who's already been there, who's walked in your shoes, that's priceless. This one idea completely flips the traditional expert on a stage model right on its head. So, this naturally leads us to a really crucial distinction, right? The role of the expert versus the role of the peer. Look, they're both important for sure, but when it comes to solving your immediate keep you up at night problems, their value couldn't be more different. Let's break down what each voice really brings to the table. Okay, so you can see the two approaches side by side. The expert, they give you the blueprint, right? The theories, the frameworks, that big picture 30,000-foot view. And that's valuable context. But the peer, the peer gives you the battle story. They share the messy details, the roadblocks you didn't see coming, and the hard-won tactics from being right there in the trenches. That firsthand experience, it creates an instant connection. Now, let's be super clear. This is not to say experts aren't needed. Of course they are. Their research gives us the foundation for understanding the bigger picture. But when you're talking about those specific, complex, real-world problems, the practitioner's voice, the peer's voice, it just has a clear edge. So how do you actually get this peer power to happen? Well, it doesn't just happen by accident. You have to be really intentional about it. You have to engineer an environment of trust. And believe it or not, there's a specific formula for creating the kind of real talk that leads to those aha moments, and it's built on a few key pillars. And here's that formula. It's really a three-step process. First, you have to vet the attendees. This is so important. It makes sure everyone in the room is a true peer, dealing with similar stuff. No vendors, no sales pitches, just peers. Second, you ask tactical questions. This moves the conversation away from abstract theory and towards strategies you can actually use. And third, maybe the most crucial of all, you guarantee strict confidentiality. This is what creates the safety needed for people to be truly honest. The absolute secret sauce to making this safe space work is something called the Chatham House Rule. It's a simple idea, but it's incredibly powerful. The agreement is this: you can share what you learned, all the insights and takeaways, but you can never share who said it. This frees everyone up to speak honestly as individuals, not as representatives of their company. It unlocks complete, unfiltered honesty. And this idea of confidentiality goes even one step further. Nothing is ever recorded. Think about it. In a world of on-demand everything, the value here is actually in the fact that it disappears. The insights exist only for the people in that room in that moment. It creates this focused, high-stakes environment for sharing that a recording just could never, ever replicate. So, what happens when you put it all together? You get vetted peers, you ask them tactical questions, and you wrap it all in total confidentiality. Well, the payoff is a conversation with a kind of depth and honesty that you just can't get anywhere else in a professional setting. It's different. This is where the magic happens. You get real, genuine discussion. People don't just share their wins, they share their spectacular failures and what they learned from them. You walk away with actual tactics, not just buzzwords. It's the kind of raw, unfiltered conversation that you are never going to find in a polished LinkedIn post or get from a standard consultation. That authenticity, that's where the real value is. At the end of the day, this all comes back to a pretty simple question about value versus time. A carefully built peer-to-peer exchange can give you an incredible return on that investment, which, leads me to a final thought I want to leave with you. So I'll just leave you with this question. What makes you decide an event is actually worth your time? Is it a famous keynote speaker? Or is it the chance for one single conversation with a peer who has already solved the exact problem you're staring down today? Maybe the most valuable insights aren't found on a big stage after all, but in a quiet conversation with someone who just gets it.